Welcome to RVing in New England, the nation's only forum that puts you on stage with some of the biggest names in the RV industry. And now your hosts, John DiPietro and Bob Zagami.
I can keep you hidden behind the logo.
There we go. I'm so excited. Here it is. It's like the Super Bowl or the playoffs are this weekend, and
it's a pep rally before the big game, John.
And that was not. We did not discuss that before. That was totally organic.
That's right.
With that being said, it's kind of frightening.
It's a pep rally before the big show hits.
That's kind of frightening, but nevertheless, it is exciting to be, and just I was saying to my wife before, she said, well, what do you expect for crowds this weekend? I said, I have no idea. We are either going to kill it or get killed. One of the two. But you know what? The show is going on. The show must go on. And I think everybody's excited. People that are going to come are going to enjoy it. And people that aren't coming, they're going to want to know what they missed. And we're going to be capturing so much of it on video that, we'll be showing some of it live all weekend long. But we're going to capture so much so that this time next week, we can tell people that we're really back.
Well, it has another flavor to it. I've talked to several of the dealers this week, and one of the things that they're excited about, it's always nice to get 15, 20,000 people through the hall. But as we all know, seeing that we've been to so many shows, and I've been going to these shows for over 50 years now, but it's always been shoulder to shoulder. You got 20 people in a rig. You can't move side to side. The poor salesman has to try to guess which one is the qualified prospect and which are the 10 that are kicking tires.
It's good for us as promoters to say we had 20,000 people at the show, but because it shows the interest in it. Okay. But the reality is when you have those crowded Saturdays, we used to have those crowded Saturdays because the Patriots would be playing Sunday. Those crowded days, nobody benefited from that. The attendees didn't benefit from it. And again, this is the pre-COVID time because it was elbow to elbow. You had crazy kids running all around the place. And the poor sales guys that are trying to make a living, salesmen and women, let's be perfectly clear, men and women, they really couldn't spend time with anybody because physically, I remember Mark LeBlanc used to, Mark Lebrecht. Mark Lebrecht at the old Diamond RV.
Yeah.
He would have one of his diesel pushers there. And the way he did business was he would sit in the driver's seat.
That's right.
And he would greet people on the way in, greet people on the way out. And sometimes he'd turn the driver's seat around and, he would talk to him that way. But you know what? There's so much going on. But you know more than me because you were there today. You were at Ground Zero. And I know you've got some photos you want to show of some of the dealers.
I'm at a disadvantage tonight. Yeah, because I have to drink my Jack Daniels out of a plastic cup in the hotel because I didn't bring a regular glass. However, there's a benefit to it because when I look out this window tonight, this is my view. That's the exhibition center right across the street from the Aloft Hotel, and give a great plug here for the Aloft Hotel. They're part of the Marriott chain. Unbelievable people, staff over here. They've been great all day, and a lot of the people are staying here who are coming in for the show. But thank you to the Aloft Hotel group. They are just a pleasure to work with. But yeah, I was over. Let me give you an overall, and let's see. Oh, that's what it looks like in the daytime. So see how good we are.
Yeah.
Took the same
daytime,
shot.
nighttime. Yep.
Didn't even realize it gave you a daytime and a nighttime shot. This is at the back of the, this is what we call the move-in staging area. So you can see a couple of Super Cs there and a couple of diesel pushers. and then the skyline. But then that's what, looking out my hotel room, I can see the entire move-in area, and you can see they've already taken quite a few into the hall. But
I know exactly where that is. That's the parking lot.
Yeah. So what do we got for guests here tonight? Anybody?
We got a good group of people here.
Goodness,
we got a great group. Let's start up at the top with Bill Sell.
Yeah.
Is Bill still in Las Vegas, or is Bill back?
Bill I think he's back. He's back because he sent me a note today. He said he's going to come in sometime this weekend.
Oh, okay.
Do that.
Leslie, you know Leslie? Leslie's
new. I don't know Leslie. Leslie, is this your first time watching the show? If you are,
she heard that I was going to be on.
Huh?
She heard that
somebody probably said, no, you should really watch the show because Zagami's really good, but he's got the sidekick that eats Chef Boyardee macaroni.
Zagami, let's get something straight right now. Let's talk about full disclosure. Okay, you're drinking Jack Daniels out of a paper cup, but what's right next to that paper cup?
What's right next to it?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Where did you pour that Jack Daniels from?
Oh, you have to pour it from a bottle. I had to run next door to the liquor store. I forgot to bring my Jack Daniels back on the plane today. So
you couldn't sneak it on the plane with you, huh?
They would have taken it out of the luggage.
Okay.
Cindy May, good evening. I bet everyone is excited about the RV show. Bundle up. It will be cold on your walk from the parking lot to the show. No, Cindy, all I have to do is walk across the street.
Yep.
In fact, I'm not even going to wear a jacket. I'm just going to walk across the street tomorrow. Jim Conboy from New England RV Roof. Are you already in Boston? No, he's probably not. He's probably got a couple more days worth of work to do down there. But New England RV Roof. So if you're coming into the show, stop by New England RV Roof. If you've ever had a leaking roof in an RV, you know the damage.
There's no such thing as a leaking roof in an RV. Come on. Why would you say something like that?
Are you silly? RVs don't leak? Huh.
No, not at all.
Gabriel Ryan Anthony. Good evening, guys. Ryan's on his way in here this weekend. If you come in, Ryan's got 2 sessions on Saturday, 2 sessions on Sunday on the technical track. So stop by and introduce yourself to Ryan. Find out all about mobile independent RV service. Hello, Dante. Glad to have you. Frank, hi, Bob and John from Lynn, Mass, that is. Don't forget Travels with Delaney YouTube video about campground site reservation scam by some third-party entities. Frank wrote me today, and I don't know anything about that, but there's something going on, so I'll have to. I didn't get a chance to do any research
Travels with Delaney.
Yeah, Travels with Delaney on that. Yeah, and Gail Hogan. Hello, Gail. Is Steve with you?
Gail is in Florida, by the way. Do you know that?
No.
I'm pretty sure she's in Florida, right, Gail? Aren't you in Florida? Pretty sure she is. Bill Sell is back.
I just flew up from Florida today. Jerry Plant, good evening. Gail, Steve, and I are listening. Okay, Gabriel. I think the show will bring more serious people out this year. That's what John and I had started to talk about, Gabriel. We do believe that the RV dealers are actually going to enjoy less people this year because they're going to have more time to spend with them, more time to qualify them. And the people that come really want to buy an RV and they really want to know more about the RV lifestyle. So, having the attendance go in a negative, less than last year, less than 2 years ago, I think that's going to be fine. I think the dealers are going to find that, more isn't always necessarily better.
This is a whole new world that we're in right now.
Yeah,
this is a whole new world. And when you and I were flying back from the Winnebago winter meetings in March of 2020, March 13th,
Palm Springs, California.
Little did we know that would be that was our last old way of marketing RVs. That was the old way. And we spent some time with Rick Kessler. I don't know if Rick is with us tonight, but you know what? We're flying back and we heard that Kessler had COVID. We called them from the plane.
We had breakfast with him that morning.
But we're in a whole new world right now, and we've adjusted, we've adapted, and we will persevere and move on. And the reality is that shows like this and the internet like this and social media like this can now be a learning experience and not just a social fun thing. And we're in a whole new world. It happened overnight. It happened on March 13th, 2020. And you know what, folks? Welcome to it. And the reality is that less people attending a show is better than too many people attending a show, because you know what, Bob? It may have been better if we had 2 halls for that RV show 2 years ago instead of 1. But, you know, they could have spread the product out more and that type of thing. But that's all hindsight now. And all the dealers, maybe you should talk about the dealers that are going to be there, because that's really the all-star team of New England.
It is. I just saw a note from Jerry Plant here. Jerry says, Jeff and Jill and I had a discussion about tweaking the booth contents more towards first timers. That's true. And we've tweaked the show more. Exactly. That's a good strategy, Jerry, because, and that's why we went to the 2 tracks on the seminar. So we've got the technical track and then we got the lifestyle track. So that is good. Let me show you.
Let me tell Jerry one thing, that Jerry, I will be planning on stopping by and utilizing those chairs that have the shock absorber rockers. The shock absorber rockers. They're the coolest chairs, and they sell them at majors. They're sturdy, that even a fat guy like me can sit in it and rock and not worry about rocking away. Well, okay, showtime. What do you got, Zagami?
I'll bet Jerry could probably show you some, or Jeff and Jill could probably show you some plastic dishes. So when you heat up your Chef Boyardee macaroni over the campfire, you could have some plastic dishes.
That's right, Bob. I would heat it up. Heat it up in a plastic dish over the campfire.
No, you heat it up in the can over the campfire. And then
should I open the can first or not?
No. You wait till it burns.
Throw it into the fire.
Right onto the fire, right with the flames, and wait till it blows up. So I started explode. So I started talking about, here's the floor plan. Now, if you look, the 3 big guys, Campers Inn is over there on the left-hand side, right in front of Country Camper, and on the back right-hand side is Pete's RV. Then we got Hemlock Hill. We got, what do we got there? Bradford's. We got Man's RV. We've got Cold Springs with a big section up on the front. Man's is over on the right, and I can't blow that up, so I can't.
Well, that's good.
Bradford, I was talking to Ray Noriega when Bradford was setting up, and then over on that back right-hand side, just for those of you who are familiar with the floor plan and in the show, Seacoast RV was supposed to be here, but they had to pull out because they had some people that were not vaccinated. So that space we turned into the lifestyle stage. And then behind it, in the old area where we had the presentation, is going to be the technical stage. That you can see that we have Man's RV right in the middle there, and then he's got another display over on the left-hand side. So when I came in today, I see Mark's note that he's going to come finish up tomorrow, but that was that Class C there, and that the Wildwood destination camper there. That's Bradford's display.
Oh, that's Brad's. Okay.
Yeah, and Ray was there, and a few more people just finishing up, setting up what they had today. They'll come back in tomorrow. Yeah. So this is where Seacoast used to be. So that's going to be the lifestyle.
That's Zagami's cheering section.
That's right. That's my fan club.
Yeah.
Meets every couple of hours.
Yeah.
They're very dedicated. What else we got for comments?
Well, wait a minute. Go back to that picture again.
Oops. Wait a minute. Go back to the one I just had.
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah. Yeah. Now that far right corner, actually the middle photo is where the big park model RV would be. And that area where the trash can is going to be one of the vendors, one of the sponsors. What is it? Mobile?
T-Mobile.
T-Mobile. And then just to this side of that big pillar is where the lifestyle shows seminars are going to be.
Right.
And, they'll be right on the floor. So people, as they're walking by, if they don't want to watch the whole show, they can see a portion of it. And that's going to be.
Yeah. They don't have to go upstairs for any of the seminar rooms, so they can take a break and sit down. And the seminars are also geared towards a lot of the first timers. And experienced people always learn something from the seminars, but we truly expect to have a lot of first timers coming in. And,
who's Mark Smith?
Bradford RV.
Oh, Bradford. Okay.
Yeah.
Dante, be there Saturday. Monica, not many Class A's at all, or at least according to the list.
That is
probably true.
That is true. But as we tell people, and we never can please everybody. Somebody who wants to see a lot of Class A's, can't understand why there's pop-ups. But the real benefit of a show is to get to know the dealers. And when you think about how much time you can spend with 7 or 8 dealers and talk to them about what they have at inventory back at the dealership, talk to them about what's coming in, because inventories have been challenging this year. And a lot of the material, a lot of the units that are coming in right now are sold. Somebody ordered them 6 months ago. Some people are waiting a year for an RV. So get to know the dealers, and get to know the dealers, get to meet their personalities, see if you're comfortable with them. Get out to see their open house. Let me just grab on here. Jerry says you can eat it out of the can. Bill says, sell. Lots of people still want to look at all the vehicles and don't know where to look. The conference is key. The fewer attendees in the booth will be a bonus. I agree. I absolutely agree. Will there be many Class Bs, Leslie? Leslie, there'll be a lot of Class Bs and a lot of camper vans, because again, dealers bring to the show what is really selling hot these days. And what's selling hot on the motorhome side is Class Bs and camper vans. What's selling hot on the trailer side? Single axle, small, inexpensive, $20,000, $30,000, $35,000 trailers, family units, bunk beds are hot. Those are the types of things you'll see. But even if you came to the show and didn't see anything that you liked, you'll get familiar with the products, get familiar with the product names, look at many of the layouts so that you can narrow it down to, say, I do want bunks, or I don't want bunks, or I do want a dinette, or I want a table and chairs. It's a learning experience. You may come, it's the best place for you to see everything in one spot. Because if you think about it,
an even better place to see everything in one spot is when you get in free. So Zagami, let's give away some tickets, man. You're so cheap with those tickets. It's like it's coming out of your back personally. You give them out. You give them out like you're giving out $100 bills. Give out the darn tickets. Let these people come to the show.
Before you do that, Andrew Malone, any discounts on show tickets? Well, I'm going to give a couple away now. Just have to figure out what I want to do. But if you go to BostonRVExpo.com, and I'll put that down below, in the top right corner, you'll see buy tickets. If you use the code RV22 or NERVDA, and I'll put those up, you will get $2 off each ticket. So good question, Andrew, and I'll put that.
Why don't you give Andrew 2 tickets?
Okay, Andrew, you're a nice guy. I'm going to give you 2 tickets. So what you need to do, we don't know him. Is this your first show, Andrew? But that was such a good question. I'm going to give you the ultimate discount. I'm going to give you 2 free tickets. So I need to have your.
You have to be at Zagami's hotel room by 9:00 tonight. Then you can have the tickets.
So
take you to the door.
What we will do.
Aloft Hotel Room 222.
I will leave the 2 tickets because it's so close to showtime. I will leave the 2 tickets at the will call desk inside. When you come in the lobby, there's only one way to come in the show. And when you come in the lobby, you will see a table that looks like this. Boom, boom, boom.
It's a table with a person.
Lobby, that's the will call desk. You go up there, Andrew, there will be 2 tickets with your name on it. Anytime you come in, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, it doesn't make a difference. They will be there with your name on it.
Right, but you have to show your driver's license and your voter card and your birth certificate.
And your firstborn child.
Right.
Ryan says, I'm looking forward to seeing all the units and meeting new people. My kids and maybe my wife want me to come home with a new RV. Well, I think that's an excellent idea, Ryan, and I'm sure there's plenty of dealers that would probably deliver it to your driveway. You know, you wouldn't even have to drive it home because you'd have your car here, but just say, look, I'd like to deliver it to my driveway. And there will be a lot of family-friendly RVs here.
Bob, we got something fishy going on here, because look above that. It goes Tim's RV. Ryan Hadley, you are an amazing human. Thank you for being you. Oh, and Ryan writes, you are the light of my life. Hey, you too. This is not a dating show. This is an RV show. If you guys want to get into dating, do that on your own time.
I can't.
Therefore, unless, Tim, you want to bring a free RV to Ryan's driveway in Holden, Massachusetts. And then you can write Tim's RV all over the side of it.
Yeah.
What do you think? Hey, we got a lot of new people tonight. What's going on?
Yeah. Very true. Can't please anybody. Monica understands that. What is Jerry?
First timers like the smaller towables, like the R-Pod that you can pull with an SUV. That's Jerry. You know what? Jerry knows his business. And there are lots of people, first-time buyers, that are looking for a lightweight trailer that they can pull with a Ford Explorer, not necessarily a Ford Expedition, or go out and get a Ford 450 diesel or a Ram truck. They want to pull it to see if they like it. And if they can do it with their Explorer or with their big Jeep. I know my daughter wants to get a larger Jeep so they can tow their boat with it. That type of thing. So Jerry knows.
Tell her to buy an RV. Well, here's the haul. You know, sometimes people don't see this. You can, when you're in the building, if you go out into the lobby area and take the escalator upstairs, you get this view from the upstairs. Now that's 3 football fields of RVs. When that gets all filled in, there's not going to be any empty space. That's the Cold Springs RV exhibit. They're usually the first one in because they get the first few rows when you get in. But and that, if you look all the way back in that in the middle of the picture on the left-hand side, that's the beginning of the Pete's RV display. And this is where, right to the left of that escalator, is where the technical track is going to be, and that's where we used to do all the sessions.
Yeah, nice shot, Bob. That's a really clear shot.
Well, I wanted to show the escalator. And then this is how they get in. This is the only door that we have available to Hall A, but all of those RVs will come in through that door. And look at how small the cars are. I mean, it's a gigantic hall, but it's probably one of the best lit convention centers in the country.
I remember when we went out to Syracuse a few years ago, before they built the new buildings, and that show was that was just a scary show. And you know what? This building is a first-class building. They have. They're clean bathrooms, they're clean restrooms. It's easy to park. Now, yes, it's more expensive because you're in a major international city. Yeah. But we should also tell people this. When they're coming to the show, and let's get this, let's get the difference between Friday and Saturday. We haven't been clear on that. Let's get the mask stuff taken care of now. If you come on Friday, Bob, what's the deal with Friday?
Friday, they are not the rule. The mandate for at least one shot of vaccination is in effect on Saturday. So if you are unvaccinated and you want to come to the show, Friday is your day. So we expect a pretty good sized crowd on Friday. Mask will still be in order, but that's pretty much standard anywhere that you go. But if it's a question of vaccinations, Friday is your day because they will be checking proof of vaccination of at least one shot on vaccination Saturday, Sunday.
We should also state, because there will be people that are watching this right now or watching this on delay and say, wait a minute, Friday is for the this is not a mandate put together by Paragon or New England RV Dealers Association. This is the city of Boston that picked that date of Saturday as the first day. Now, the show is already scheduled, and it's not in effect Friday, but it is in effect Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So if you're not vaccinated and really want to come to the show, then Friday, what are the hours Friday? 4 to 8?
4 to 8.
4 to 8.
Opens at 4 p.m. Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
And 8 p.m.
So I think that's very important.
Yep.
If you notice, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the only one that's bringing pertinent show information to you today, because what you don't know is that that's Zagami's second bottle of Jack Daniels today. And I'm on my first water.
This is on the left side. I think this is Campers Inn. If it's not Campers Inn, then it could be.
It's up in that corner.
It could be Pete staging the area, but see a lot of Class C's.
A lot of Class C's.
Yeah, yeah,
and some big ones.
And if you look, this again, go back to the outside. Look at that back row. That back row is all fifth wheels. In fact, almost everything there. The front row there is all fifth wheels. So a lot of fifth wheels, which are very popular. Certainly for retired people and large families, people that spend a lot of time on the road. And
you know what, Bob? People talked about the cold yesterday. The cold is gone today. But probably 7 or 8 years ago, one of the first years that we went to this building, we had a massive blizzard on Wednesday and Thursday, the days of move-in. But the dealers in New England are a hardy group of people, and they got it all in. Mark asks, with Seacoast not coming, will there be any park models?
To the best of my knowledge, there will not be park models. And I have to plug in. You better talk for a minute. I got to go find my power supply. What the hell did I do here? Yeah.
Although Bradford RV has a quasi park model. It's not your standard park model with the roof, like the standard roof, but it's a model that could be used for what you also have a park model for. Let's see here. Jerry says that Mark Masoke, Leslie says, great, glad to hear it. I went to the show before COVID and it was great. Gabriel Winston, Mark Maso, not this year, okay. Gabriel Winston, we don't know who he is, but he's pretty, presume it's a he. He's actually getting there. Okay, Audrey agrees. Haven't seen Audrey in a while. How are you, Audrey? Hi, guys. Agree the show is a great learning experience. Audrey, you're going to be coming. Hopefully we'll see you there. And Monica says, awesome. Andrew Malone says.
Brad has a comment, not at the show. Cold Spring does. I'm guessing that is in response to the park model. But I did talk to Ray the other day, and they are not bringing the Canterbury Park model that they were going to have the show did not come in on time for the show. They do have a Sierra destination camper and a Wildwood destination. Brad's got the Wildwood destination campers. So you're not going to see a true park model much as what you used to see at Seacoast this year. But again, you get to talk to.
But Brad has that unit there, Bob, that you showed. I don't know if you can go back to it. That is a.
Gabriel says, I am a he, and Leslie says, I am a she.
Yeah. Now the other thing, Bob, we're going to be wearing name tags, and mine's going to say he, him, and
he, him, and it. He, him, and they.
Yeah, he, him, and they. And I don't know, what are you wearing?
Huh?
Same thing.
I have no idea.
I asked somebody that question. They got very upset that I asked.
I haven't figured out what I am yet. Okay, Bill Self just posted the seminar link over there. So,
does not take much. He's an easy target. Let's get back up here. We got some bad stuff up here.
Charles Wooden say, "Hey guys, thanks for what you do. We usually spend the full day. Will there be vendors or the upper level food court as in years past?" I'm going to be back on the floor all day tomorrow during moving. I'll check on the food court. I don't know if the vaccination thing does anything to that. I mean, I would think that they'd be open. They're not going to miss an opportunity to have 10 or 15,000 people running
but
around the building.
They may not have the same numbers because I don't know. Did we do the last show? Did we have the car show there or not? The last show we didn't have the car show there.
No.
Okay, but
okay, Brad. Let me just check in with Brad. Brad from Bradford RV. If you folks don't know him, 70-year anniversary this year, Brad. 60 years, long time family business down there in Brockton. Let's see. Audrey says, "Hey, John. Probably not going to the show this year. I'm granny daycare for a toddler and want to stay away from crowds. I'll do my wishful thinking, surfing campgrounds, and dealership websites." Okay, we understand that. Michelle, Michael DiPietro. Do you know Michael DiPietro? That sounds like
I've heard of him.
I heard of him. John Bob, are you doing a show from Daytona in February? Plenty of New Englanders will be traveling south. Well, seeing that I'm wintering in Naples, Michael, if you're coming down, you could probably convince me to come over to Daytona. I have never been to the 500, so I could always find an excuse to run over to Daytona. If you're coming down, if you can bring your brother John, we could rendezvous over there. It's a good idea.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Maybe we should make him a special correspondent and have him go out and interview RVers out in the parking lots.
Well,
because I think he's staying there for 4 or 5 days.
Well, he's been wanting to get on the show for years, but his head would get bigger than your head if we let him come on.
I have to give him credit. He did come up with that interview idea where we talked to the people who are stuck in that massive traffic jam on I-95.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Bill says the upper restaurants were not open during Boston Comic-Con, but the venue did set things up on the floor, all spread out. So, okay, so that would probably be doing that. Frank says, campground sites, I got 2 so far, but Salisbury Beach Park is still not yet set up as per Reserve America. It's going to be a challenge. We keep hearing more and more about that being a challenge. We will have campgrounds, and I'll show you where they are. They have not been set up yet, though. All that 2 sides are there, and down that backside will be the campgrounds and the 10x10s. That's also where you'll find Majors RV.
Majors, yep.
Where you'll find Jeff and Jill, and
right by that green sign.
Yeah, right over here, right over there. Yeah,
right by the bathrooms.
Yeah, and could do that. And let's see, where is Frank? Boom, boom, boom. I got Frank's comment, and I can't find it. Oh, there we go. Take it off there. Okay. Monica, the rates for out of state at Salisbury is ridiculous. Okay, that's a campground situation, and that you'd have to deal with the state for. Tom Zabrowski, former president of the Northeast area for FMCA. We had communications with them, Tom, about FMCA coming back into the show, and I don't know if they ever signed up. I haven't checked the roster for them yet, so they might surprise us. Maybe the FMCA will be back in the show to do that. So Michael's love to help. We'll talk about that, Michael. Then maybe we should do something around Daytona.
I tried to. Interestingly, I tried to go down to one of the last couple races of the year, and we got denied credentials from NASCAR, which is amazing because the biggest campground every weekend from February to November is at the NASCAR race, and they didn't feel as though we delivered the right audience.
That was Martinsville, wasn't it?
Martinsville, yeah.
They denied them. Now, Michael, I think I haven't got my calendar out there, but I think the Daytona is on the 15th, and then you're heading down.
Yeah, I go the week after.
If you went a little bit earlier, you could go to Daytona.
Daytona's the 19th, and
well, Well, you'll be down there then.
I'll be going by it. If I leave here the 18th.
Oh, the 18th.
Figured out a way to drive that 1,000 miles in one day yet. But he's flying down. He's going to be there the whole week.
Oh, okay.
So we're missing some people here. Campground sites, Gabriel Winston, food court upstairs. Oh, John. Okay, are you doing the show from?
Gabriel asked the question, Bob, do you have a park model in Naples? No, I actually have a house in Naples, but I have a park model at Seacoast Resort in Old Orchard Beach, Maine. I have a Krupp that we purchased from Seacoast RV, and we love it. That's our main home for the summer. And but no, I'm in a regular sticking bricks down here.
There's no stick.
The retirement home.
No sticks.
I'm never going to retire, so it's my wife's retirement home.
You don't have any sticks in it. It's all bricks and mortar.
Concrete. No, they build them with concrete, so you don't.
Well, there's no sticks.
You don't get the termites, right?
Right. So look at Jay Gula. Don't know Jay.
Where is he? Jay Gula
He said it's 250 miles from Daytona to Naples. It's a long ride.
No, I can make it in 5 hours.
Yeah, well.
Actually, I could probably make it in less because you go across Alligator Alley there, and you can.
Oh, and then go up.
They'll
go that way instead of going up. Go the other way.
No. I'm thinking about West Palm and Fort Lauderdale.
Then go up to Tampa.
Go up 75
Orlando,
and go across
straight up that way. Our friends from Texas say they apologize for being late. Hey, Don, was it a year ago or 2 years ago?
It was last week for being late. What?
Was it a year or 2 years ago that they had that big freeze down in Texas?
I'm going to say 2. I don't think it was last year. The deep freeze. I don't think so.
Look at Ryan wants to know where are we watching the Pats game? Is that an 8:30 game?
Yeah, it's an 8:30 game.
Okay.
Show gets over at 8 o'clock. There you go. That's what we'll do, Ryan. I think if we don't get
Jerry Remy's.
Yeah, well, it's not Jerry Remy's now. It's Tony C. No, is it Jerry Remy's? I don't know what they're calling it.
Or I don't know, whatever it is. They have the big TVs over there.
Yeah, maybe we'll take you and Chris Doherty over there to watch the game Saturday night because I don't think we're going to have any other obligations on that. But I keep that in mind because they got 1,200 screens and they got that big one at the end. They put like 100 screens together on that back wall. But you don't have to go over around 6 or 7 and commandeer a table.
I'm sure we'll send Ryan over. Hey, we got so many new people. Johnson Easy, he's not new, but wants to know if there will be shuttling from the parking lot to the show entrance. That's been going on. Will there be that? They'll pretty much have to do that.
Yeah, they got the shuttle bus service. They'll make you wear your mask and stuff. But they do from that.
But only one person per bus, so it might take a little longer.
Maybe every other seat. Yeah.
75 to 70.
It was last year. Let us hope it doesn't happen again. All right, now
Jay Gould, not 75 to 70 E. You mean 10 east, not 70.
10 east from 75. Well, I haven't found my way around yet. So,
Jay, are you in Florida, Jay? Leslie says thank you. The BC usually shuttles for public shows. Yeah.
Yeah, they
I'm able to hold the table with your card, John. Ryan, you've been hanging around Tim too long.
Yeah.
You've been hanging around Tim too long, Ryan. Oh, hey, here's our Missouri guy, Jim Turntine. Just said hello.
Where is he?
He's in West Sullivan, Missouri, but he's
Well, I know that, but I didn't see.
How's he doing on his? Has he got any additional parks yet?
Huh?
Has he got any additional facilities?
No, but he's real. How close are you to announcing the franchising, Jim? That's overdue. Give us an update on when folks will be able to buy the RV Self Park through your franchising program. I haven't had a chance to touch base with him. He's been busy collecting more Barracudas. So
yeah, that's right. Well, didn't he come to one last year?
He's going to have his own Barracuda auto shop and sales lot.
He came out to New England last year and then it towed one home, I think.
That's right.
Right?
He came up to New Hampshire and Maine. We were out to dinner, and he told us that he had gone by a place and stopped. They had a Barracuda, and he looked at the guy and said, "I want to buy it." And the guy said, "No, it's not for sale." But Jim convinced him to sell it. And the next day, Jim went out and bought a trailer, a car trailer to tow behind his 42-foot Tuscany diesel pusher, drove up to the shop, put the Barracuda on, drove it home to St. Louis. I mean, how many people do you know that do that? They go out on vacation with a diesel pusher, and then they buy a car, and they have to buy a car trailer to take it home. But he said he needed a car trailer. He's got so many. He's got a collection of those. I think it's fantastic. He's building and restoring Barracudas for each of his grandchildren.
Yeah,
and maybe
he's got 12 grandkids, so that's a lot of cars. Hey, he and Mark Polk have a lot in common in that they do cars over and over and over again. And Jay is in Waltham, Mass. He was a truck driver. He camps at Bourne Scenic Park. SR70 is a nice drive, or to Route 4 and take a chance. Route 4 across Florida. I'm not familiar with Route 4.
Well, he's familiar with it. Are you going to the show, Jay? How many of you folks are going to the show? We got here, Charles.
With the increase in RVing, is it likely to secure a new purchase? You know what I'm guessing, Bob? I'm going out on a limb on this, but here's what I'm guessing, is that every unit that's there is for sale.
Yeah,
and they probably not bringing any pre-sold units down there.
No, somebody who's bought a unit is not going to want the dealer to take it to the show and have 10,000 people run through it.
Yeah.
But
Gabriel, where are you from? Did you tell us, Gabriel, where Gabriel's from?
Gabriel's trying to convince the wife to come to the show.
The wife, not my wife. The wife.
The wife.
Yeah. Well, you could have said the little woman.
Huh?
Oh, look at this, guys. A stranger who we haven't seen in a while.
A stranger, the man from New York. Dwayne Cyrus is now you guys, you fans should be privileged. Dwayne Cyrus is the #1 trainer, the man in charge of the training development at Winnebago Industries. Now, he used to be our Northeast rep. And before him, his dad was the Northeast rep. But he's been elevated to the executive suite, and he now runs and builds out all the development programs and the training programs for our dealers. So all of our dealers know Dwayne quite well.
And you know what? In today's competitive RV environment, you really have to know some really good sales techniques in order to close. In other words, if you can fog up a mirror, you can sell an RV today. So, Dwayne, it makes your job a hell of a lot easier. And, Dwayne, I hope that you have put some performance numbers into your contract, because those units they're how much, what's the backlog that Winnebago has, Bob? About $4 billion in backlog?
I think it's $1 billion in backlog.
In backlog.
$1 billion in backlog. But this is a good point to put in a word for our manufacturers reps, because Dwayne was always one of the hardest guys.
Good point.
At the show. And during the show, when you visit these dealers, you want to ask them if any of the manufacturers reps are in their booth. I know Kevin Horkey is going to be in the Hemlock Hill booth with the Cougars, and I'm not sure if anybody else has Cougars. If they do, I'm sure he'll run between the two booths. But Kevin's a fantastic manufacturer's rep, and it's not that our salespeople in our dealerships are bad, but they have to carry a lot of product, different manufacturers. So training and product knowledge is critical, and nobody is going to know a particular brand better than the manufacturer's rep, who is also responsible for visiting the dealers on a regular basis, updating them on the specifications. So if you can find a manufacturer's rep, spend some time with them, especially if you're really close to buying. They'll give you all the scoop on the new features, what's coming, what's there. So definitely seek out some of the manufacturer's reps.
Yeah. And you know what? And we should say this. Dwayne was one of those guys that when he came to a show, he stayed. He didn't a lot of the reps have planes to catch, but Dwayne, because he lived in Albany, he used to stay for the whole show.
And Kevin Horkey stays with the same show, the whole show.
Kevin's got to stay because he's got to take us out to eat one of these nights.
Yeah, Kevin will be in the Cougar units until 4 p.m. on Monday. So Dwayne
and just in case anybody's wondering, the proper definition of a Cougar here is an RV that's made by Thor.
It's not the little old lady across the street.
No. So just be aware of that. Oh, Bob Aminetti will be there for Winnebago. Bob's a good guy too.
That's
Bob's
great.
a good guy too.
And I think the Winnebagos will be in Country Camper because Seacoast was going to have them in the show, but then they withdrew. And I don't know anybody else that would have it. So I'm pretty sure Country Camper would be where you're going to find the
last time we had Dwayne on the show, he sent us a present. Remember that, Bob?
The last time we had Dwayne on the show?
Yeah. I'm going to go get it. I got mine.
Okay. Ryan says, this is for everybody that's on the show tonight. Ryan wants to know how many first-time people on the show tonight will be attending the show this weekend. So if you're a first-time, that'd be an interesting to know because I ask that question all the time in my introduction to RVs and the RV lifestyle seminar. The first two questions I ask the audience: how many people are attending their first RV show, and do you currently own an RV? And 90% of the people, it's their 90% of the people, it's their first RV show. About 50% of the people may own an RV. Jesse Brissett from Campers Inn out in West Hatfield says, Kevin Horkey, you hear that? Love you guys. Kevin's very popular. Not that Jesse isn't. You go to Camping World out in West Hatfield, stop in and say Jesse and meet his team out there. Goodness gracious. Kessler, did you just show up? Homemade fajitas? It's 7:48. You are 48 minutes into the show and you didn't even apologize. And we had Rick Kessler. I had Rick Kessler as my interview on the Camper Report show last week. So if you want to see up close and personal with Rick Kessler, check out the Camper Report show YouTube channel, and you can see my interview with Rick Kessler, who is the executive editor of RV Business Magazine and Woodall's Campground Management Magazine. Dante, any reps from Forest River Corporation? I suspect that Jake Daniels will be there. Jake does the R-Pods and some of the other trailer units, so I'm pretty sure we have quite a few dealers showing the Forest River products, everything from the R-Pods up to the big ones that have that. So he will be there. Did you find what you were looking for?
No, it's that shirt that Dwayne sent us.
Yeah. Well, while you were gone, Kessler checked in at 7:48.
Oh, Rick, very nice.
Yeah.
Rick, he doesn't even live in a different time zone, but he lives in a different time zone.
Yeah.
In fact, here's something interesting. The last time we saw Kessler was when we were with Dwayne at the Winnebago meetings in Palm Springs. So isn't that funny?
That's right.
So
did anybody say they're coming to the show? John Sensi says, what time is the seminars for Saturday? Do you have a schedule? Yeah, if you go on to bostonrvexpo.com/seminars, you'll see a top menu bar. Go to bostonrvexpo.com, up the top, click on seminars, and you'll see the full schedule. The technical sessions are only on Saturday and Sunday, not on Friday, not on Monday. I believe they start, we're open at 9 on Saturday morning, 9 on Sunday morning. I think the technical sessions start at 10, as do the lifestyle.
Yeah, you know what's interesting that I find really interesting, that Kessler knows how to spell fajita.
Well, Kessler likes to eat. But you think the guy could eat at 6 o'clock. He knows. How long we do this? Is our 6th year of doing this show. He's been the editor of RV Business for 6 years, right. And the guy still shows up late, 48 minutes late. to the
but
show.
Remember, again, let's go back to March 2020.
Yeah.
Every time we went to one of the meals that Winnebago was providing for us, and they provided some great food, Kessler was already, if the meal started at 5 o'clock, Kessler was already seated at 4:40.
He was the first
media badge.
Right. First guy in line
to get in.
First guy in line commandeered his own table. You'd walk into the food area and look out there, and there would be Kessler at a big round table all by himself.
Yep.
Because he was the first guy in line to grab the food.
And if we didn't sit with him, he'd stay all by himself because he has no friends in the industry.
Now, even the competitors sit was great. Didn't anybody say they're going to the show? Dante says, Dante, did you say you're going? What day are you coming down? And Lisa cannot come. She's got to run. Oh, she already ran.
So look at Ryan thinks he's the co-host.
Bulletin, breaking news alert. Franchising is done. We are awaiting a couple of software items. So anybody who wants to have a franchise with RV South Park, a totally automated overnight accommodation facility that Jim Turntine conceived, developed, built, totally automated, totally computerized. If you don't know anything about it, we've had him on the show before, but go to rvsouthpark.com and
not self-taught.
South Park.
Okay. Oh, Jesse. No, we won't see Jesse. We don't see Jesse anymore.
Well, Jesse should come to the show. Jesse should have exhibited at the show. I mean, if Camping World could have been in the show, but they're not in the show.
Parent company, corporate. They know more than us. That's why they're corporate.
John Sensi is going with his fiance. Well, I'll tell you what, John, I'm going to give you 2 tickets. I'll have them at will call for you. But only.
And you'll be able to save the money, John.
Save the
money and go out to eat at the McDonald's over at South Station.
No, I want him to save the money and convince her that he should buy an RV. Do you already have an RV, John? Or are you starting to think, are you one of those first timers that have got the bug and want to see what this lifestyle is all about?
Zagami.
So at the
will buy her an RV instead of a ring.
Yeah.
Right?
There you go. There's the will call booth. Look for that in the lobby, John, and I'll have 2 tickets.
Oh, right. He has one. He has an RV or he has a ring. John Stanese. You have an RV or you have a ring? I'm sad, but get it, Jess. Thank you. We're going to see. No shows. Oh, Jesse, no shows. Oh, well, whatever. So, Bob, I can't believe the hour has flown by like this.
Is it gone already?
I mean, we got a couple of minutes left. Our first patent was issued last week. We're ramping up parts inventory in preparation for franchising as well. He's a busy guy when he's not fixing up his Barracudas.
He's built 2 or 3 other businesses out there, and he owns the town. So Jesse says no shows for Camping World. Okay, you're missing out. Okay,
he has an RV. He must mean man's RV. He must mean man's RV.
Oh, Don, you were late to the party, Don. You're right. It's in a plastic cup tonight because I am in the Aloft Hotel in Boston, and this is my view out the window. Where is it? Boom. This is what I'm looking at. When I look past the screen and look past DiPietro, this is my view of Boston tonight. How's that? And I just saw. Now, I don't know who Mark Musso is, and I'm assuming you might be a first timer, Mark. So I'm going to give you 2 tickets to the show, and they will be at the Will Call booth. They're good Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, whatever day you want to come in. Tell us if you're a first timer, or if you've been with us before, Mark, and do you have an RV, or are you buying an RV? Or?
Leslie wants a couple freebies too. Leslie, that's a her.
Leslie.
It's a her.
Yeah, she's the she.
Yeah.
Gabriel's the he, and
Right.
Leslie the she. I just
Yeah.
see where she says no more free ticks ? Oh, so she wants free tickets. All right, Leslie, you can have two. If you're smart enough to ask for them, Leslie, I'm going to do that. That's it for tonight. Don't ask for any more. Leslie, they'll be at the Will Call booth, and hope you guys have a great show. I can't believe it's 8:00. Maybe we should make the show 2 hours. Tell us where you're from, Leslie, and if you have
I think Leslie went to Wellesley College.
How do you know?
Well, I just have this new thing called Facebook where you can check people out.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Did I see the last one there? Nope. Too late, Monica. I already gave away 8. All right. But maybe the next time. Anyhow, any closing comments, John? You got, we're
no. You know what? We don't want a show to go by. We don't want a show to go by without our audience knowing how happy we are that they take time from their week every week to join us on Wednesday nights or whenever they watch the show on replay. We appreciate it. Without our audience, it's just me and Zagami talking to each other. And then
it winds up with me having to listen to him too often. So
we love our show. We love our audience. Great show, guys. See you Saturday, Ryan. And Ryan's buying dinner Saturday night at the Patriots game.
That's fantastic, Ryan. I think that's very nice of you, Ryan, and we'll be glad to take you up on that.
Leslie's from Natick, and she did go to Wellesley College.
Ah, see? Leslie, I was born in Natick, Leslie.
Yeah.
77 years ago, I was born in Natick.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can do that. All right, folks. Thank you. Have a great show. Mention it to all your friends. Share all the stuff. Hope we see you all here. And John, on the floor after the show. Come up and introduce yourself. What's that, John?
Ryan says, "Yeah, we can all split a plate." Well, if Chris Doherty comes out too, and whatchamacallit, and Ryan, maybe we can hook Hiroki into buying the dinner.
Yeah,
they've got like a $40 billion backlog.
Well, that'd be good if Hiroki comes. He's got a big expense account. He could bring the Andro boys over, and we could have Ryan and we could grab a table over there for 10 or 12 people if we get there early enough. I forget what it's called now. Maybe it is Tony C's. It was Jerry Remy. Then I think maybe they changed it to Tony C's. But it's right down the street. It's within walking distance, close to all the hotels. All right, folks, I'm going to pop in the closing video. Show opens at 4:00 on Friday. Thanks for joining us tonight. Hope we see a lot of you. Come up, say hello. And it's okay. If you want to ask for an autograph, it's okay. But no pictures. We don't do pictures. Autographs, we'll autograph your show program, but we're not rich enough to have those 8x10, black and white glossies that you can sign like the big stars do. Oh, wait, I take that back. I bet DiPietro's got them. He's so vain. He's probably got a box full of them sitting in his office over there.
No, but you know what I do have? I have this picture. And
that's
my
Chrissy,
daughter.
That's Chrissy and Maria.
Yeah, my daughter came into my office a few weeks ago and said, "Dad, do you think you can change that picture?" I said, why is that? Because she said, the girl in the red said to me, because I'm 41 and the other girl is 37. I said, but this is how I want to remember you guys. So if you got grandkids, you know what I mean.
Yeah. All right. We're going to close it out with our video. We will see you at the show.
This edition of RVing in New England was a presentation of the New England RV Dealers Association. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.